Hey, I'm Decathlon Gamer. Welcome back to Tour de France 2023. This is episode number 7. Before we get into our next and final race of season number 2, our 5-stager, we're looking to see if Pogačar can truly hang on and hold the leader's jersey for 20 of the 21 stages. Something that has happened, but my oh my, is that a rarity in the sport. Pogačar has won all sorts of stages here, though, so I would think that he is well ahead. I think he's sitting on 4 stage wins right now? 5 stage wins? 6 stage wins for Pogačar. Now 7. And yes, he has won it, leading 20 stages along the way. That is just absurd. Congratulations to Joe Dombrowski for being the only other rider to wear the yellow jersey at this edition, the 2024 edition of the Tour de France. And somehow, making no sense whatsoever, Pogačar only wins by 38 seconds over Evenepoel, with Hindley at 1:43, Vingegaard at 3:36, and Bardet 9:20 behind. I can understand those larger gaps and how quickly they drop off, but I'm shocked that the front four finished that close. Geraint Thomas takes the KOM, Fabio Jakobsen for the points classification. Pogačar takes the young rider classification, and Jumbo-Visma wins the team classification, and Simon takes the combativity award that I am famous for getting in our present state of affairs in this playthrough. Before we begin our 5K prologue of the 5-stage open tour, I've made a lot of progress. I'm still the weakest rider on our team, but at a 71.5, we're getting more and more competitive. The acceleration and the punchy piece are definitely there. It's getting the rest of the components to join it, but stamina and resistance up to 73 each will certainly help us sustain efforts longer, which will ultimately add up to the other areas that we need eventually. Here we go. 7 minutes is the target. We'll see. They want me to get to 7:23. We're going to push hard here early. Get up to speed. Easing off. It's a little bit uphill here. And we're going to try to push kind of right on. A slightly tight corner here, but we're fine. That red bar, I think, is draining at a good rate here. Still in the TT position, only a little bit of red. Can only go so far. Finally, we ease off and start to straighten things out here. 53 kilometers an hour, starting to get that slight downhill, allowing us to pick up more momentum. That's a hard left there, but we were able to make it without slowing up at all. Upping the pace all the way to the finish line now. Here we go, sprinted out to the end. I have no idea what time that was, but that was definitely the best time trial of 3 that I've put in so far. And we'll find out here soon enough. That, of course, was the easiest of the 3 that I have done so far as well. But we quickly got up to pace. We were able to maintain pace. We were able to push a little bit more. Get a little sprint at the end. 66th overall, 20 seconds off the pace. Second best on the team. I think that's a good effort for us. I think that's a very good effort for us, and that's right about what the target was. With a 1.5-minute advantage over the field, going solo, I'm actually hoping that we are able to stay solo. Minute 45. I'd love to see us get that over 2 minutes and actually get a chance to ride solo for a change and set the tempo and get first at all the requisite points, the KOM, the intermediate sprint, and whatnot. Now over 2 minutes. Looks like we've actually succeeded in doing it. I've pushed hard to make this happen. I'm finally going to start to back off just a little bit so we can recover that red bar. Through the intermediate sprint, still ahead of the field, though the gap is down to 1.5 minutes as I've been resting and recovering a bit as we come in towards this. So we'll see if after the intermediate sprint that they set up again and let me get further out, because for now it's not a very healthy gap, but it's back out to 1:50, back out to 2 minutes. So we are reestablishing that gap here as I speed things up. Our energy levels are a bit low, but they begin to recover, and unlike before the intermediate sprint, gap's going out the right direction at 2.5 minutes. Halfway to the next KOM, gap is just over 2 minutes, but I recovered a lot of energy. So for now, they're allowing me to remain out front, but they'll easily reel us in when the time is. There's no way we are winning this stage, but it's nice that we're getting all these kilometers solo. It's going to help with our time trialing ability quite a bit, and then also it's going to make winning these King of the Mountain points incredibly easy. It's going to put us in the jersey here on day one without a doubt. Gap yo-yoing between 2 and 2.5 minutes for now, out to 2:40 as we approach the first KOM, and without a challenge we can keep speeding right on through it.
You're 2 kilometers from the top.
And there it is. We've got the first point in the King of the Mountains classification and a 3-minute advantage in the peloton now. I'm going to go ahead and take control for a bit. Reason being, we're coming up on the feed zone and we have our gels available to use. I'm going to go ahead and use that to help with recovery before reaching that stage. There you go.
Another classified climb is in sight for the head of the race.
Okay, climb number 2.
There will be 1
Point number 2
for the first rider over the top.
About a 2-minute advantage over the peloton, though they are definitely getting closer now. 1.5 minutes. We've got a big descent coming. I should be able to get this third point as well. Minute 12. Minute 5 over the field. 40 seconds.
Watch out.
I'm going to have to push to get this third point here. 36 seconds. Ooh, we are almost out of energy. It's time to take over. Time to take over. We're 2.6k from the top. We need to gel up. We need to get to the top and get this third point to lock in that KOM a little bit better. Don't care if we bonk out after that. So 30-second advantage, 2.6k. This is my race. This is my race right here. Okay, backing off. Gel. There we go. Let's go ahead and use the entire thing. All I need to do is survive this climb first. 28 seconds.
You're 2 kilometers from the top.
Pushing a bit harder here. 23 seconds. 1.4k. We've gone 1 kilometer and only lost a few seconds, but they could come on strong. Somebody could decide they want that KOM point and come on strong at the end. Meanwhile, our energy is definitely getting low even after using that gel. 21-second advantage though. 700 meters. I think we might have enough in us to hold them off here, but we're going to back off just slightly. I don't think we're quite going to make the top. 400 meters. There we go. Here we go. 17 seconds ahead. Almost about to bonk out, but we go over the top and we do. That will secure the jersey. Technically, we already had it secured, but I needed that extra point, so 3 points. We do bonk out. Here comes the peloton, and we can speed things up till the next stage. And we are inside 4K to the finish. Following for now, I have a little bit of energy. We are in the peloton. It's not a lot. 3.2k. It's definitely using up my energy fast, but trying to hang on here to Thiessen and see if we can participate in the sprint and get some points. 2k. Still just that little bit left. Very little red bar as well. It is what it is. 1.5k. We're not going to actually contend this. We're just going to try to hang onto the wheel. Nope, we're about to bonk out, and we do. We blow up just as we go under the 1k banner. And there go the sprinters, by the way. Sprinters really just taking off, leaving the other group behind. Thiessen takes the win. Apparently I was following the correct wheel. I just didn't have the energy to see the end of the stage. Stage 3, quick check-in here. We are probably 3/5 of the way to the intermediate sprint. There's only a single intermediate sprint. There's only a single KOM today. I cannot lose that jersey. I'm not really in the sprints competition properly, so it's the KOM that I'm after. And with only 1 point available today, 5 stages to navigate, low stamina, I figured if I'm going to sit in the bunch, this is the day to do it. This is the day to not waste energy. The good news for me is the combativity classification. This is the longest stage, so it stood to reason that I would lose that jersey for today anyway and try to get back at it tomorrow. But depending on how today went, it could make that classification trickier. However, right now there's 3 riders off the front. They are not bunched together. And the fantastic news is there's been fights, multiple fights, regarding what's going on with that breakaway. We still do not have a proper established break after close to 100 kilometers. It's changed which guys are off front. They get brought back. They're not getting far away. So it's hurting the combativity kilometers of those who are going for it. I like that. It's also hurting whatever ability they have to stay away for significantly longer. And I may find myself, if they get reeled back in before that intermediate sprint, going for it after all. You know, you save a half day worth of energy and you still go out and collect the points. That sounds like a pretty good deal to me. Though we might just sit in the bunch. I'll keep an eye on what happens as we approach the intermediate sprint. If it's close enough, I might just go for it. Coming up on that intermediate sprint, I am interested in partaking in it and trying to pick up a few points anyway. 3.5K to go for the front group. 4.2 here for the peloton, which I'm well positioned right now, right behind Pache, who is currently leading along with Lafad. Lafad's the one who actually picked up the KOM point, doing exactly what he's doing right now. There was no contention for that KOM point. But here we are now, 3K, 4 riders at the front. You can see them up ahead. They're not far, but no point trying to waste a lot of energy catching those guys. We'll just see what we can do in a bunch sprint, which we already know is not much. However, every other bunch sprint I've done has been very low on energy by the time we do it. This time, we're nice and fresh, almost full. So here we go. Wow, these guys, look how much faster they are than me. I mean, they're not even sprinting yet, and yet we're not going to get we're not getting any points whatsoever. No point. There's way too many riders up the road there for me to collect any leftover points at the back end of that group. They accelerated a lot earlier than I expected them to. They didn't go full sprint yet, but they accelerated, and that acceleration made it impossible for me to catch up and contend. Breakaway of 4 have a 1 minute advantage. If I get a chance, I will attack and try to go for that KOM. That's the point that I want. That intermediate sprint was pretty irrelevant. So keeping an eye on these guys now. 50 seconds ahead and in sight with
30 seconds lead
not a lot of kilometers left to go. Maybe 15 more and just a 30-second advantage. And the front group is starting to split up. Oh, I'm liking our chances even better now. .40 seconds though. Somebody's pulling out a few more seconds, pushing away from the others.
The next
might be claiming that point.
5K.
5K.
That means 1 point to be earned for the first rider to the top.
Don't think we're going to catch him here. It's a little too far out still. So that's not the rider right there. Ooh, wait. 17 seconds. We are going to catch him. Here we go. I'm going for it. That's not the leader. There's one more up the road
Your
here.
opponents are upping the pace to hold off the peloton.
Or am I the leader now? I am at the
They're
front
riding
now.
hard behind. This isn't the moment to relax.
There we go. I got the point. Nice. I'm gonna just use whatever energy I have
Not sure
to
that he'll be there for the sprint.
see what I can do. How long I can stay off the front. I'm never gonna win a bunch sprint. I might as well pick up a few kilometers off the front and go maximum pace between now and the finish line. Relative maximum pace. 15 seconds ahead. If I can open up that gap a little bit more on this climb, you never know. Here's our first attempt at winning a stage. 20 kilometers to go, 19 seconds ahead. A gel to use. This is the biggest hill. There's a lot of descent after this, which is going to definitely be easier in terms of energy consumption.
Being left behind. It's good news for the overall standing.
Look at the field getting all split. Only a 20-second advantage, so hanging on to this looks highly unlikely, but let's go ahead and gel up now before we hit the descent.
The leader was in danger.
Or at least
but
use
he's
half
once
of it
again
anyway.
Leading the overall standings.
Malama, who won the prologue, seems to be struggling.
The riders are all back together. Everything will be played out
I've
in the
been
final
caught.
kilometers.
I've been caught. Ease off. Ease off. Alright, well, we gave it a shot. Lasted for about 6K. Sprinters definitely got dropped on what would otherwise be a sprint stage. Alright, I just used the rest of my gel. I don't have a lot of energy, but with 6.7k to go, we certainly have a chance. And without sprinters here, Cavendish, Bull, plenty of sprinters are absent. Plenty of sprinters are missing. There's still 124 here, though, so don't expect it to be easy. Don't expect us to be competitive, but we've got a better chance than normal.
The sprinters' teams have managed
We have more
the
energy
stage
than
perfectly.
normal after
5
spending
kilometers
very
out,
little of the day
peloton is
in the
bunched,
break.
and everything is in place for a mass
After
sprint.
this turn, I am going to try to accelerate out of the turn and move my position up a bit and follow somebody near the front. Can we squeeze our way through here? We can. Follow Millard. Now 3K. Ackerman being led out by McNulty. That feels like a good spot to be behind. Kind of getting the lead out of a sprinter who would definitely beat me head to head, but if I can follow towards the finish, maybe. 1.7, 1.6. Is there a KOM here? No, that's the 1 kilometer banner. But a punchy little pre-finish technical. Somebody's attacked. Looks smart. I'm not going full gas to the finish because, look, we just don't have the stamina to keep up with these guys, but it's definitely our best finishing position. Narvaez, did he hang on? Was that Narvaez who did that? It might have been. Finished about 20th on the stage. My overall position is now 57th as some riders lost time today and fell down the order. Malama still leads the overall. I now have 4 points in the KOM of 5 possible. So doing great on that front and managed to rest most of the day and still went out and got the only KOM point of the day. Got to lead at the front for a little bit. I would have liked to have hung onto that for a little longer, but ultimately it did allow me to save some energy. In terms of the points classification, we are well out of it. We still sit on just the 20 points, so I'm not going to bother with the intermediate sprints. I will be trying to win the King of the Mountains. In the young rider classification, I am 12th. And in the team classification, we aren't even on the radar. We are at the bottom end. There it is, 16th, 33 seconds down. Combativity, I do still have. I added a few kilometers to that. And like I was saying before, there was a lot of riders that tried to attack on the day. Most of them didn't hang on for very long. Sombrero, the longest, out of a 200-kilometer stage. Sombrero was off the front for less than half of it. Herman's for about a third of it. That worked really well in my favor for keeping that combativity classification already. And then I'm definitely going to be in the break on the last two stages, which are a lot more climbs, a lot more happening on those. They're going to be a lot tougher stages. They are also the stages where I need to go have some success. I need to go take some Cat 2 climbs and hang on to. So I would love to have a one-man break, but I know it's not going to happen. So we are going to face some obstacles, some challenges as we go forward into that next one. But things are looking pretty dang good on this race so far. But the big challenge is the final two stages. So we just took care of the easier ones, and now we've got a lot to do to manage those last two stages of season number 2 with a rider that's developing into, I'm almost tolerable now, but what am I? I mean, I'm a slight puncher, just not even in a very competitive level at this point. So there's a long ways to go. Long ways to go yet. But regardless, we're going to be hitting the end of the season in that next episode, and that will allow me to upgrade one or two teammates. It would be really nice to have teammates that are actually earning points, because I'm the weakest rider on the team, and I know I could control the other riders and do more with them than I do with myself. And that would build the team, that would improve the ranking, that would improve the money, and then you could get significantly better riders around, where then I can get bonuses, get help, blah blah blah. No, that's not how I want to play this. That's not how I've chosen to take on this challenge. We're taking this challenge on ourselves, but we are inevitably going to at least improve one of the riders into next season. That is going to do it for this episode. I know this one's a little bit shorter. It was 3 easier stages. The 2 harder stages will definitely occupy a lot more time, and the end of season transfers. I'm Decathlon Gamer. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Have a good one. Be safe out there, and bye for now.